Max Payne, run this shit.
Just for all them bitches out there, all my hoes out there, I got one thing for you. You ain't got my money or my feelings, you ain't got nothing to do with you. Yes!
Do your dance, fuck it up, go dummy. Outside with the guys getting to the money. On the coast where it's always sunny. I'm a pretty ass nigga, but my thick face ugly. So ugly. Pretty nigga, but my thick face ugly. Outside and I'm getting to the money. I'm a pretty ass nigga, but my thick face ugly.
In this bitch, I'm a goddamn legend. When we outside, homie, y'all not present. Wanna ride me like a 6 straight, 9 times 7. If I smile at your ass, then you might get pregnant. What type of time y'all be on? You talking like you ain't got a pot to pee on. Sleeping on all week long, but I'd rather fuck you like that Eazy-E song. None your business. I love my paper, I don't love these bitches. They want a little more than just hugs and kisses. We sons of guns, y'all just sons of snitches. I'm a pretty motherfucker, but just like it ugly. Homie, you my son, I'm my child, gon' son me. Motherfuckers hate me, but they hyenas love me. That Thea's cousins and their sisters trying to fuck me.
Do your dance, fuck it up, go dummy. Outside with the guys getting to the money. On the coast where it's always sunny. I'm a pretty ass nigga, but my thick face ugly. So ugly. Pretty nigga, but my thick face ugly. Outside and I'm getting to the money. I'm a pretty ass nigga, but my thick face ugly. Outside standing on 10 like I'm supposed to be. Only doing FaceTime if you wanna get a hold of me. Thumbing through these bands while you broke, niggas fast asleep. Count guapanali, got the bitch fixated on me. All this bitch nigga shit in the air, it's getting hard to breathe. I know y'all ain't getting no bread, it's getting hard to eat. Y'all niggas getting stressed out, it's getting hard to sleep. Sleep on anything, but please just don't sleep on D. The boogers in my chain tap, dancing like ballet. Hustle game got a lame bitch, don't know what to say. Buffalo Bill with the tent, get a nigga spit. Bad bitch wanna fuck me, she think I'm a pair rent. Water on my neck and I'm in a fishbowl. Fish tailing in the whip while a nigga sit bow. Pull my stick out, she gon' bend it over limbo. Sit back and watch a real nigga get to the door. I know I made the shit look easy. D-Bank's a dog, but I don't chew frisbee. So much water on my neck, the kids could go swimming. Jay walking with a double cup, I be with the lid read. Do your dance, fuck it up, go dummy. Outside with the guys getting to the money. On the coast where it's always sunny. I'm a pretty ass nigga, but my thick face ugly. So ugly. Pretty nigga, but my thick face ugly. Outside and I'm getting to the money. I'm a pretty ass nigga, but my thick face ugly.
That booty looking like a ball, I'm finna palm her like Kiki. She tryna link on a late night, she sneaky. Dropping nudes in my DMs cause she freaky. No, she think I'm that nigga, how she treat me. Say I'm looking like a snack, I say eat me. From the back in her booty with my pinky. When she put it in my face, it ain't stinky. She gon' let me hit her friend cause she kinky. I heard that God don't like ugly. It's probably why the man upstairs loves me. I'm a pretty ass nigga, you could look but don't touch me. Every time I hit my Dougie, I got women trying to fuck me. Louisville, they wanna slug me, but we ain't out of Kentucky. But I know my city loves me, try it if you feeling lucky. Yeah, Louisville, they wanna slug me, but we ain't out of Kentucky. Try it if you feeling lucky, nigga.
Do your dance, fuck it up, go dummy. Outside with the guys getting to the money. On the coast where it's always sunny. I'm a pretty ass nigga, but my thick face ugly. So ugly. Pretty nigga, but my thick face ugly. Outside and I'm getting to the money. I'm a pretty ass nigga, but my thick face ugly.
Yo, what's poppin'? CTC Radio, the only radio station committed to the coast. If y'all can hear me, let me know. My bad for not having video on. I'm out of town right now. I don't have a really great setup. I didn't bring my equipment with me, but I didn't want to stay away too long, so I'm back. Y'all, what's poppin'? CTC Radio, the only radio station committed to the coast. It's your boy. Thank y'all for tapping in, man. I just wanted to check in from the East Coast, from North Carolina, see how everybody's doing. I heard the rain was going crazy out there. CC, what up? Gerald Purify, what up? Thank y'all for tapping in. Please share the stream if you wouldn't mind. So much to talk about. Of course, we have the CTC Radio Awards announcements. I'll do those on Monday. I want to be more settled. Actually, I'll do those on Tuesday because I get back into town on Monday. So I'll do those on Tuesday. But of course, if you want to see who won CTC Radio Awards, you can always visit our website, club, and become a member to get the early announcement. But we'll be announcing them on the show on Tuesday to give the winners their props. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all the artists who did their thing in 2025 and put out excellent content for us to enjoy in the 805. And yeah, I also wanted to check in, like Cece said, I heard it's going crazy. I heard it's raining like nuts out in the West Coast. The atmospheric river is cracking from what I hear. Um, and I'm out here in the sun in the sunshine on the East Coast, so I wanted to make sure my people was doing okay back there. Nobody got flooded out. I want to make sure nobody got flooded out or anything. So just in the chat, drop a plug if you're doing okay, if you're surviving the rain back there on the West Coast, let us know. Um, and man, there's so much to talk about, y'all. So much to talk about. We've been gone for about a week and a half. And in that week and a half, so much stuff has happened. See, I'm not bragging. I'm just letting y'all know the weather's nice out here. It's nice and sunny. It's not too humid. It's a good, it's a good little vibe out here. I'm not mad at it. Moosey Moo 420. Thank you for joining. Please share the stream if you wouldn't mind. I see Cece's doing okay. Cynthia, what's good? Thank you for joining. Please share the stream if you wouldn't mind. Yeah, man, so much popping. I don't even know where to start, y'all. I mean, so much stuff has happened. Let's see, Epstein files dropped. We can talk about that because the Epstein files has some crazy stuff in it. Nicki Minaj goes full MAGA. We could talk about that. Um, all the gangster rappers are saying fuck the streets. We could talk about that. Um, a big conversation I see is 50 Cent versus Fab, Jim Jones, Mano, and Dave East. We could talk about that. I saw there's something else. Ebro hating on Charlemagne. That's how other people are. I don't know if I see it that way. We could talk about that. Stranger Things just dropped the next batch of 3 episodes. We could talk about that. So much to talk about, y'all. Let me know where you want to start. Let me know where you want to start. I think my co-host might be joining me a little later. But even if they don't, I'm gonna hold it down for a little bit. Trap God in the chat, what's good? Thank you for joining. Please share the stream if you don't mind. In the meantime, y'all, I do want to remind y'all that we have a couple items left on our website from 2025. We'll be having new merch. The flags will always be available. The no ice glasses will always be available because y'all know it's fuck ice all day. But the merch and the member merch, the Coast Got Next hoodie will always be available for members, but all other merch will be switched out. I'm going to focus on a couple key designs in 2026. I'm not going to do as many designs as I did in 2025. And they're going to be limited edition, but they're really, really, really dope designs. I'm excited for you guys to see them. And it's a great way for you to support the stream. So check out our website, connect.club. Grab yourself some merch. While you still can, some 2025 merch, because it will be a collector's item, and support the stream and become a member. Let us know. Yeah, and let me see if anybody dropped in the chat. Trap Guy said, what up though? Back. Okay. Yeah, we back, man. We back. The full squad ain't here. I'm here though. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got the OG squad of 1 back. I'm sipping on my whiskey. Chilling. Let's start with the Epstein files, y'all. Can we start with the Epstein files? Are y'all cool with that? Drop a plug in the chat if you're cool with us starting with the Epstein files. If you want us to chat about the Epstein files, drop a plug in the chat. And if you want us to chat about Stranger Things first, then drop a 805 in the chat. So if you want us to talk about Stranger Things first, drop an 805 in the chat. If you want us to talk about Epstein files first, drop a plug in the chat, and we'll start wherever the chat wants us to start. Let us know. You can also call in and leave a message, and we'll play your message. 805-316-1311. Once again, that's 805-316-1311. Give us a call. We would love to play your message and hear from you. And I see a bunch of y'all on YouTube. If you want to shout out on YouTube, just make sure you drop something in the chat, and I'll be happy to shout you out. CC and Trap said, let's do Epstein all day. Serig 805, what's good? Thank you for joining. Epstein it is. Let's start here. All right, so let's see if I can pull it up because I feel like I could show y'all better than I could tell y'all. Let me try to find some video. But while I look for video, I can tell y'all that basically a law was signed by the president, was signed by Congress, basically where the DOJ, the Department of Justice, has to release all available Epstein files and by December 15th. So this was obviously 9 days ago. By December 15th, that was the deadline, 9 days ago, to release all of the Epstein files. And there was very specific guidelines they had to follow. So they couldn't redact anything except for victims' names. Any redaction that they needed, any redaction that they put in the files had to be explained, and they could basically they were supposed to release everything. It came down to it where they only released I see you Tyrese. They only Trap, my bad. They only dropped a fraction of the files, and most of them were redacted. There were some redactions that, like, because there's sections of files, right? There's court proceedings, there's discovery, there's photos, there's videos, there's text messages, there's emails, there's all kinds of stuff. And so they're different sections of files. And some files, like let's say if there's a 200-page file, 119 of those pages would be fully redacted with no information at all on it. And so everybody was kind of tripping, but the things we could determine, and there was 2 drops. There was a drop on the 15th where they were trying to hide everything. And then there was a drop that got hacked a couple days later where a bunch of stuff that they didn't mean to release was put out into the public. And so I know that this is a lot of information I'm giving y'all, but I just wanted to give you the background before we get into what's actually in the files, the craziest things that were in the files. Let's start with the craziest thing that I think was in the files. Now this one is hard to prove, but let me see if I can find a video on it, because I don't want to tell the story wrong. I want to put that on somebody else. Let me see. This is wild, y'all. I'm looking up the video. Give me 1 second. It's some very, very, very disturbing stuff. Let's do this. I'll just give y'all a 5-minute video from PBS that'll break down some of the things, and if they leave out anything, then I'll cover it. I'll stop the video along the way, but this is PBS kind of breaking down everything that's noteworthy on Epstein files. Let me know if you guys can hear this.
Hour, the Justice Department released nearly 30,000 more pages of documents related to the late convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, including many that reference President Donald Trump. The new batch comes.
Let's see if I can turn the speed up a little.
As the DOJ is being criticized for not releasing all of the documents by the deadline set by Congress and heavily redacting many of those they have put out. Our White House correspondent Liz Landers has been going through the recent batch, and she joins us now. Hi, Liz. What is in this latest release?
This is 30,000 more pages that were put up last night, taken down, and then reposted by the Justice Department. This includes photos, video surveillance, a lot of legal correspondence between different prosecuting areas that were prosecuting the Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell case. There are a few pages of this that are fully redacted, no explanation why. There's also an email that mentions 10 co-conspirators that the FBI was discussing in 2019. That is some news that people have picked up on. And there's also a few mentions of President Trump.
So that's big. That's something I left out. So throughout all of this, we know who Jeffrey Epstein is. We know who Ghislaine Maxwell is. Those are the two people that have been charged. Those are the two people that have been charged. But in the documents, it shows that there are at least 10 other super powerful people who we don't know their names. We don't know who they are. They were redacted. But there are 10 other people allegedly that helped Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell traffic all these children and sell all these children as sex slaves around the world. 10 people that we probably, like, if we heard their name, we would know who they are, but we don't know who they are because the files redacted it. Big Time Bake, what's good? Thank you for joining. We're discussing the Epstein files. We're catching up. This is the first topic catching up on. Adam, what's good? Thank you for joining. Please stream if you want.
Let's talk about some of those mentions of him. We should say the president has not been accused of any wrongdoing in relation to Epstein, but there are some troubling references in here.
There is a reference in one FBI file that includes a rape allegation. This was apparently made during the height of the 2020 campaign. There's also a court document that talks about a 14-year-old girl who was taken to Mar-a-Lago in 1994. She said that she was there with Jeffrey Epstein, who introduced her to its owner, Donald Trump. Epstein apparently elbowed Trump playfully, asking him, referring to Jane Doe. This is a good one, right? Trump smiled and nodded in agreement. They both chuckled, and Doe felt uncomfortable.
Okay, so we gotta stop there. We gotta stop right. So what this is saying, if you're just tuning in, what this is saying is that in the Epstein files, there's an FBI report that says Jeffrey Epstein took a 14-year-old girl, a 14-year-old girl to Mar-a-Lago to introduce her to Trump. And when he introduced her to Trump, he elbowed her. He elbowed Trump and was like, "This is a good one, right?" Mind you, Trump said a long time ago, "I know Jeffrey Epstein. He's a good friend of mine. Many say he likes young girls. Many say he likes them young." And there's also reports that Jeffrey Epstein actually learned how to traffic little girls from Donald Trump through his modeling agency. So Trump used to own a bunch of modeling agencies that were for teenage girls, and that's how, they would find a lot of these girls and traffic a lot of these girls, and that's where Epstein learned that from, allegedly. That's what's been reported. So when you hear that Epstein is taking 14-year-old girls to see your president and they're ogling over 14-year-old girls, that's who these people are. Mind you, like, I haven't been around, like, I have nieces that are probably like 11 or 12. I haven't been around 14-year-olds. I don't even know what they look like. But I'll tell you this. When I go downtown to the bars in San Luis Obispo to drink, I see 21-year-old kids that look so young. I would never touch them or look at them or talk to them in that way because they look so young. And it's just uncomfortable to even go down that road. I'm not judging anybody that does, because 21 is like grown and legal, but I just personally, for my personal taste, it's too young and I don't like that. So I can't even imagine dealing with a 14-year-old. Like, you have to be the sickest of sick perverts for a 14-year-old. It's crazy. I am Asia. Thank you for joining. Please share the stream if you wouldn't mind. Let's continue. This is PBS talking about the Epstein files.
But at the time was too young to understand why.
So this is a report coming from her.
There's another Department of Justice internal email sent from a U.S.
And yeah, that's a report from the girl saying that she remembers Epstein elbowing Trump and saying this is a good one, but she was too young at the time to understand what they were talking about. That's how young she was, that she didn't even understand that dynamic between two old perverts, which you don't have to be that old to understand, but she was so young she didn't understand it. So that just kind of gives you a sense of how predatory these guys are.
Attorney to an unknown person, again redacted. This was sent in January of 2020, talking about Trump being on Epstein's plane. It says, quote, "For your situational awareness, we wanted to let you know that the flight records we received yesterday reflect that Donald Trump traveled on Epstein's private jet many more times than we previously had reported or that we were aware of. And it said that he's listed as a passenger on at least 8 flights between 1993 and 1996. Now, the Department of Justice put out a statement this morning on social media saying that some of these documents contain untrue and sensationalist claims made against President Trump that were submitted to the FBI right before the 2020 election. To be clear, the claims are unfounded and false. And if they had a shred of credibility.
Okay, so mind you, I'm sorry I keep stopping, but there's a lot of things I'm remembering as I hear this. So, mind you, Trump said that he's never been on Epstein's plane, and he always tried to put it off on Bill Clinton. He always tried to be like, Bill Clinton went on Trump's plane like 6 times. I never went to the plane. I never went to the island. I never was on the plane. But the files show that Trump has been on Epstein's plane at least 8 times. And Epstein's plane, just a little fun fact for you guys. Epstein's plane is called the Lolita Express, named after a famous book about a pedophile who's obsessed with a 12-year-old girl. Epstein named his plane after that. And people like Bill Clinton, Donald Trump, Bill Gates, Chris Tucker were flying on this plane. Maybe Chris Tucker didn't know, but Bill Clinton, Donald Trump, Bill Gates, they definitely knew. Cece says nobody can dispute personal account is not here. Say it's none of that. Nobody can tell her she didn't see that. Exactly. Continue.
They certainly would have been weaponized against President Trump already.
But we don't know which of those documents they're referring to.
No, there's not a clear indication in there.
So what is President Trump saying about all this?
So President Trump was asked yesterday at his club in Palm Beach about some of the release that had come out, and in particular about former President Bill Clinton being in some of those images that we saw last week. Here's what he said.
A lot of people are very angry that pictures are being released of other people that really had nothing to do with Epstein, but they're in a picture with him because he was at a party, and you ruin the reputation of somebody. So a lot of...
Can we just stop? This man is so goofy, bro. Every time he says a lot of people, he means himself. But just know that in case you don't follow politics or anything like that, anytime he says a lot of people are saying this, a lot of people feel this way, he's only talking about himself. So when he says a lot of people are upset that the photos are out, he's talking about he's upset that the photos are out, right? This is how I interpret it, right? I can't see into his mind. I don't know what he's thinking, but I followed him enough to know that this is probably likely that he's thinking and talking about himself. But notice how he's only concerned about people who have reputations they need to worry about. He's not concerned at all about the victims. Notice that. He is a psychopath. Like, he has no empathy at all. All he cares about is self-preservation.
People are very angry that this continues.
The president has repeatedly expressed his frustration that the Epstein files story continues to dominate the news, while he said it's overshadowing some of the accomplishments of his administration.
This is not how this was all supposed to roll out, right? Congress passed a law. Legislators are upset about this, as are some of the survivors. What are they saying?
To put it bluntly, the way that this has been released by the Department of Justice has not been in compliance with the original intent of the law. The Epstein Transparency Act directed the Department of Justice to publish all of the files and materials related to Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. Flight logs, records, any grand jury testimony, all of that was supposed to be released, redactions to protect victims' names, but that was it. And anything related to ongoing investigations, that was supposed to be redacted. What we have seen is that not everything has been released all at once. Instead, we're seeing this kind of trickle out over the course of several days now. We've also seen names that have been redacted in some of these emails with no apparent reason why.
Little girl on his lap. Crazy work. Cece says, see, people don't understand. You cannot tell anybody, no, you did not feel that. No, you did not see that. So that's proof enough. That's evident enough. That's what motherfuckers don't understand. And she says, living in real life, in your face, presidential psychopath, America. And I'm sure he's like, Trump is an avatar for America. So how many other sick psychopaths in America are roaming around like this? Nephew Video 805, what's good? Thank you for joining. We've been off the air for about a week and a half, so we're just catching up on everything that's going on right now. We're just talking about the Epstein files. If you hear me leave anything out that you know, please feel free to chime in. 805-316-1311. You can call in. And definitely let us know what you think in the chat. We always want to know what you think in the chat. This video is almost
Is that not everything has been released all at once. Instead, we're seeing this.
I'm sorry for the slow internet, y'all. I'm out here in North Carolina.
Kind of trickle out over the course of several days now. We've also seen names that have been redacted in some of these emails with no apparent reason why, between attorneys, it looks like. That's not supposed to be covered up in some of these redactions. And also, we've seen that these files have been posted and then taken down in 2 instances now without explanation from the Department of Justice.
Liz Landers, thanks for staying on top of all this for us.
Of course.
Crazy, right? Okay, so I was hoping they would get to the juiciest story, which they didn't do. So I'm gonna get there for y'all. The juiciest, craziest thing that I saw in the Epstein files. There's actually 2 things. One was about a girl. To be clear, neither one of these things have been corroborated, meaning neither one of these things have been confirmed, but they're in the Epstein files, which means the FBI took them seriously. We don't know if they looked into them. We don't know what they discovered about these claims, but these were in the Epstein files. So take it with a grain of salt. But let's start with, I don't know which one is crazier, so I'll start with this one. The first craziest thing I saw was there's a 13-year-old girl who reported that she was raped on a yacht by Epstein and Trump. Okay, you hear me? Y'all hear me? Knock, knock, check, check, 1, 2. Y'all hear me? DJ Brother C, Philly, was good. Thank y'all for joining. Please share the stream if you wouldn't mind. There was a 13-year-old girl who said she was raped on a yacht by Epstein and Trump and reported this to the FBI, and she was pregnant. So a 13-year-old pregnant girl was raped by Epstein and Trump on a yacht. That's what the files say. That's not what I'm saying. That's not the crazy part, though. That's not the crazy part. The crazy part is she said that then sometime later, Epstein murdered her baby by throwing the baby off the yacht, and Trump was there and witnessed it. Do y'all hear that? Do y'all hear what I'm saying? Check, check, 1, 2, knock, knock. Is anybody there? In the files, it says Trump was a witness to Epstein murdering a 13-year-old girl's baby by throwing the baby overboard on the yacht. Even if that's not true, this is our president, yo. Like, first of all, why would you make that up is my question. Like, why would you even make that? I feel like, what does she get about, what does a 13-year-old girl gain from making that story up is my question. What do you gain from making that up? So, and what does anybody in any of these stories gain from making these stories up? Honestly, if you really think about it. So that's where I'm at. But that's crazy. So that's just the first one. That's the first. That's the first one. The second craziest Trump story. Actually, you know what? I did say I would play your messages, so we got a voicemail. Let me play this message, and then I'll tell you the number 2 and number 3 craziest things in the Epstein files. So, but shout out to Trap. I think this is the message from him. Let's check it out.
What's good with the CTC Radio? It's Luxury the Trap God. You feel me? I just wanted to tap in and say happy holidays. You feel me? Happy New Year. I had to call in one time for the 2025. You dig? You hear me? So yeah, I'm gonna chime in. You feel me? I love this motherfucking station. The support. You feel me? What I got going on and all that. In 2026, man, we know we finna go up. Shit, look out for the latest music finna drop is gonna be that Trap Got It 3BK Rule, so look out for that. You
Hey,
feel
let's
me? Much love on
go.
CTC Radio.
Hey, we love that. Trap God and 3BK Rule linking up. We love that, man. Thank you for providing this little spot of positivity during this dark conversation about the Epstein file. Shout out to Trap God. Make sure you give him a follow at the real Trap God on Instagram. We actually got some music coming out in 2026. I'm really excited for y'all to hear about too, man. So stay tapped in with Trap. And just so you know, like we will be way more focused on music in 2026. I know we lost the plot in 2025, but we bringing it back to music in 2026. So a lot more music events, a lot more music opportunities. We're going to be focused on 805 music heavy in 2026. Plus we got the new CTC studios open. So if you're in the 805 and you're dope and you think you deserve top-notch studio time, but you don't have top-notch studio money, come holla at KO. Come holla at the Lord. You feel what I'm saying? We'll make something shake. All right, back to the Epstein files. So the number two craziest thing in the, and we're not gonna talk about this all night. We're gonna switch to another topic. Philly, what's good? I see you. The number two craziest thing in the Epstein files that I saw. I didn't read all the files, so I don't know everything. But the number two craziest thing that I saw in the Epstein files. Do y'all want to see my face? Does it matter to y'all that y'all don't see my face? I just feel a little bad, but I just don't want to. I don't want to show my face. But if it matters to y'all, I will. The number two craziest thing in the Epstein files is that I think it was another 13-year-old girl, 13 or 14, between 13 and 15, let's say that, was raped by Donald Trump and Epstein. And then that same girl was found with her head blown off, murdered. I had to let that marinate in silence. Did y'all hear me? Do you need me to repeat that? Do you need me to repeat that? So, a 13 to 15-year-old girl, I'm not sure exactly how old she was. I can't remember. I'm drinking whiskey right now. But was raped by Donald Trump and Epstein, and then found murdered with her head blown off. I feel like we need to stop and talk about how often this word rape comes up. Because when you, in the files, like the word rape in the files is like so crazy thrown around like a million times in the files. But when you pair that with the president saying he just loves to grab people by the pussy and he doesn't even ask for permission, does that not sound like somebody who would do these things? If you're just grabbing people by the pussy and you don't even ask for permission and you just start kissing them as soon as you see them because they'll let you do it because you're a celebrity, does that not sound like somebody who would do these things? Real quick though, what's good? Thank you for joining. So yeah, so that's the number two thing. And I think I'm listing these in order of least crazy to most crazy. So I haven't even listed the most crazy thing that I've read about in the Epstein files. This is the number two most crazy thing that I've read about. So, yo, and mind you, we only have like I think they said 1 to 3% of the files. There's been about a few 100,000 files released, but there's millions, there's like tens of millions of files in the Epstein files, and we only have a couple 100,000. So we only have like 1 to 3% released. So we don't even know how depraved it gets. And when you hear stories like this, it makes sense why he's trying to hide this so crazily, right? So I have to take a drink for this third thing that I read because I don't believe it. Cece said, y'all should know when he's serious when you pulled up the K. That's how you know I'm drinking, because I said KO by accident. But let me take a sip of this, because this third and final thing I'm gonna talk to y'all about that I saw in Epstein files it's unacceptable. When Cece says yes, absolutely, are you saying yes, you want to see my face? Absolutely, is that what you're saying? Cece says, people really didn't listen when I kept saying, and everybody else kept saying, who knew that 2025 is the year of truths and exposing truths? And this probably the biggest truth that has been exposed, that there actually is a pedophile cabal running the world. That's probably the biggest truth that's been exposed. That's what these files basically expose, is that there is a group of super rich, super powerful people who like to fuck little kids that are running our lives, which is unacceptable to me. It's unacceptable. Um, I'm sorry, I didn't even take my third sip yet. I'm not even ready to tell the story. I've only read and heard this. I've never said these words out loud, but as I prepare to say them, it's grossing me out. So I just need to take a couple more sips because it's super gross, super disturbing, super gross. So let me take one more sip before I hit y'all with these bars. But let me know what you guys think too in the chat. Do you think that our president is capable of something like this? Do you guys believe that at all? Do you think it's hype? Do you think it's cap? What do you think? All right. So the third thing and the worst thing that I've heard is that this one doesn't have anything to do with Trump. It doesn't have anything to do with Trump, I don't think. It's just Epstein and other rich men that are unnamed. Only Epstein was named in this one, but um, there's a little girl who said she was trafficked. She's only known being trafficked for sex for her whole entire life since the age of 5 years old. Sit with that for a second. I didn't even know what sex was at 5 years old. And even if I did know what sex was at 5 years old, like, even if I could wrap my mind around the concept of it, me having sex at 5 years old sounds like just like it doesn't even sound like a real, like, who would look at a 5-year-old as a sexual object, right? Like, I can't, I can't, I can't fathom that. That's absolutely disgusting, which is why I'm drinking like this to tell this story, because it's insane. It's insane. I don't get it. I don't understand it. Like, my brain can't process it. But there was a little girl in the FBI report. Her name is redacted. She said her parents sold her into sex slavery from the age of 5 years old. She met Jeffrey Epstein when she was in her teens and was trafficked to him, and he would fly her around the world and sell her to rich men. But while she wasn't flying around the world, he would keep her in like a horse stall underneath his house with other little kids. And he would parade rich men through these. I'm saying horse stalls because that's how she described them, but she said they were like horse stalls in the fact that you could walk by them and see what was in them, but they weren't necessarily horse stalls, and there's just little girls in these stalls. And he would walk through these horse stalls with other men, other rich men, and they would like check out the girls, and he would call her, a fat pig, and say, if you want to come live upstairs, then you have to, suck this guy's dick, or you have to let me fuck, or whatever, because um I, you want to be my girlfriend, and only my girlfriends get to live upstairs in the house. You're a fat pig, and you need to live down here in the stalls like an animal until you do what I say. But there was no Trump was not named. Trump was not named in this part, but with a capital B and only one T, but with a capital B. She said there was somebody, and this was all redacted, right? So they named this person in the file, but it's redacted. But she talked about how he spoke. And she said Epstein brought this one dude to her and said, And the dude said, I'm perfect. And if you want to be perfect, then you need to, do whatever I say, suck my dick, fuck me, whatever. Um, and you'll be perfect too. And then you can live upstairs. 3 guesses. Who do you know that kicks it with Jeffrey Epstein that uses the word perfect? I had a perfect phone call with Russia. Nothing went wrong. The phone call was perfect. I'm building a perfect ballroom. It's perfect. I only know one person that obviously I don't know everybody that kicks it with Jeffrey Epstein, but I do know one person that kicks it with Jeffrey Epstein who uses the word perfect a lot. And so it could be your boy. It could be your boy who was walking through stalls of little children and picking them out like livestock to rape them. I'm gonna just stop right there. Cece says 5. Oh my God, my heart. Christopher Lucio, what's good? Thank you for joining. Please share the stream. Yo, I know this sounds crazy. I'm just telling y'all, I had to have this stuff in my mind, so y'all gotta have it in your mind too. These are the people y'all voted for. These are your champions, your heroes. This is your king. You know what I'm saying? I just want y'all to know. Mind you, like I said, we're only 1% into these files. These are the files. These are the files that they were okay releasing. Do y'all know how crazy that is? These are the files that they felt okay releasing. Imagine what is in the files that they're not okay releasing. Imagine what is in those files. Imagine. Oh, and then we'll end on this. Trump, who said he never went to Epstein's island. Mind you, he has an island that's notorious for he flew girls to on his pedophile plane to his pedophile island with his pedophile friends, and his friends would rape little girls on this island, right? We know this. This was not a secret. But what we did find out, Trump said he never went to the island, and we found out that he did go to the island. He actually did go to the island. That's what the files say. And he took his youngest daughter there. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. Now, you know your best friend is a pedophile. You know he's fucking with little girls. You know you probably fucked with little girls with him. Why would you take your daughter, your youngest daughter, to his rapist island? I don't have no theories. Y'all let me know your theories. I don't have no theories, but I'm just saying. Insane. Insane work. So I know we missed a lot, y'all. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. I don't want to talk about the Epstein files the whole episode, but that's just the tip of the iceberg with these files. I will definitely, I mean, like I'm glued in, I'm tapped in to what's going on just because it's so insane to read about these things. So if you guys want me to give you continual updates about what comes out with these files, I'll be happy to do that. If you guys know more than me, if you guys, might have some context that I'm missing, let me know. Drop that in the chat. Give us a call, 805-316-1311. Leave us a message. We would love to hear. But y'all, how crazy is this? And Cece says, no, where is she? I got questions. Apparently she's living her life now. Tiffany Trump, I think that's her name. Tiffany Trump. That's who we took to the island. But she's living her life now. But I mean, who knows what she saw? Who knows what happened to her? I mean, and a lot of this stuff I'm telling you about happened in the 90s. So who knows? Ivanka, some ill shit probably happened to Ivanka too. Like who knows? He might have done some crazy shit to all his daughters and all his kids. So I don't know. This is getting ugly. It's getting nasty. But I'm gonna stay up to date with it. You guys let me know If you want to know more, I'll keep you up to date. But man, man, it's ugly out here. Um, I think since I'm here by myself too, I mean, I gave y'all a couple other topics that we could talk about. So we just talked about the Epstein files. I said we could talk about Fabulous versus 50 Cent. You know, Fab Mano, Dave East, and Jim Jones just dropped a diss track on 50 Cent. We could talk about that. I think the thing I want to talk about most is Nicki Minaj going MAGA. But you guys let me know in the chat if you want to talk about that. Or we can talk about this Stranger Things drop that just went down. It's the talk of the town. Everybody's watching Stranger Things. Everybody's talking about Stranger Things. So those are your three options: Stranger Things, Nicki Minaj, or 50 Cent versus everybody. If you don't drop it in the chat in 30 seconds, I'm gonna talk about what I want to talk about. So y'all let me know. I would love to hear what you think. You have 30 seconds to decide. 30 seconds to decide. 50 Cent versus everybody. Nicki Minaj going MAGA, or Stranger Things. You guys let me know. Gia, what's good? Thank you for joining. Please share the stream. Cece says Nikki. All right, Nikki. Since Cece's the most vocal, Cece gets what she wants. And she's the most vocal. Closed mouths don't get fed. And she talking out here. So she gotta eat. She gotta eat. Let me see if I can find a clip and we can just comment on that clip. But while I look for this clip, so I'll just give you like some context. But Nicki Minaj, I've always in my whole life seeing her, I've always thought she was crazy. But people seem to think that this new bout of insanity is a new development, and basically like the richer she gets, the more famous she gets, the more conservative she becomes, and kind of the more anti-black she becomes. So she went to talk at a if you guys know who Charlie Kirk is, he's the founder of TPUSA, TPUSA, Turning Point USA, TPUSA, that's what we call it. He's the founder of TPUSA, which is like a super conservative neo-Nazi group for young college kids. You know what I'm saying? It's basically like a group that helps Nazis look cool to young kids. That's what TPUSA is, and makes white supremacy seem cool. Because we all know like old white people love white supremacy, but TPUSA has done a pretty good job at like making white supremacy cool to younger college kids. That's their whole thing. And so, of course, they want somebody like Nicki Minaj who has hits to be on their side, because I mean, I don't know if there are any rappers that like TPUSA. She might be the first. So she went to go speak at this convention for them, and it kind of went off the rails, man. She just said a bunch of like anti-black, anti-gay stuff, which is like her whole audience is like all the barbs are like gay dudes, you know what I'm saying? So it kind of threw everybody for a loop that she was going against her fans, and she was going against, you know, the people that got her to where she is. And a lot of the speculation is that she's trying to get a pardon for her husband, who is a convicted I want to say like statutory rapist, like he like might have had sex with an underage girl, and now he's on the, I'm not positive, but I think he's on the sex offender list. And when she moved to California, he didn't report that he was on the sex offender list, which put him back on probation or some shit like that. And so a lot of people are suspecting that she's trying to get him off of probation and get him a little pardon. So she's, you know, snuggling up to Trump. She's hugging on Trump's nuts, because that nigga's handing out pardons like roofies. You know what I'm saying? So this is some of the things. I can find some of the highlights of what she said, and then I'll just give you my thoughts of what I think about her in general, and why I'm not at all surprised by this, and I'm kind of shocked that everybody else is. But here are, I think, some of the highlights of what she said, and you guys can let me know what you think in the chat if you agree or disagree. But I'll tell you my thoughts after this.
Have the utmost respect and admiration for our president. He's given so many people hope that there's a chance to beat the bad guys.
First of all, let me stop this right there, yo. She don't even know what the fuck she's saying. She don't even know what she's saying. Like, who are the bad guys? And giving people, like, she's just throwing this to me. Have y'all ever seen that movie with Brendan Fraser? Isn't it called Bedazzled? I think it's called Bedazzled, where he like makes a deal with the devil, and on one of his little wishes, where he wishes to become a top athlete, and he's getting interviewed as an athlete, and he's just like, you just gotta play hard, and you gotta be number one, and you gotta give him top effort. And he's not saying anything, like he's just saying all the like cliche things that sports the athletes say. And this gives me that same vibe. Gia says, I feel like she's always been like that. Thank you, Gia. She has always been like that. She has always been like that. Michaela. What's up, Michaela? Looking all good. I see you over there. Gia says, the Barbs are mad. And she says, but just read one that says you can't take me off her music, so I guess they not having it. Yeah, I mean, yo, people love it's people that's still out here listening to R. Kelly, so people are gonna love what they love, so but I still think at least you should know who the people are you're listening to. But yeah, she don't even know. She sounds crazy. She sounds like Brendan Fraser as the jock in Bedazzled right here.
And to win and to do it with your head held high and your integrity intact.
Okay, so she says that he's a good example for people out here to win and do it with their head held high and their integrity intact. But he lost, and he tried to overthrow the government. He tried to overturn democracy. You feel what I'm saying? So I don't know what she's talking about. I don't know what she's talking about, but I'm gonna just give you a taste of what her fans are saying in response to her appearance at T Pusa, just so y'all get the temperature of how her fans feel, and then we'll close out with me telling y'all how I've always felt about Nicki Minaj. I've never said publicly, but I will say it tonight because I think it's time. But this is like the temperature of what a lot of her fans are saying.
Here, folks. I look a mess, I feel a mess, I sound like a very nice young man, a gentleman, if you will. But I scrounged up just enough energy to get on here and tell Nicki Minaj to go to hell. Because I don't know what they got on you, girl. I don't know what they got on you, but you've been going off for a minute. Okay, blink once. If you need help, blink twice. If you need help, blink 3 times. If you need help, do you need help? Just blink. You don't know what's going on right now. Do you need help? Yes or no? Still under the weather here, folks. I look a mess.
See, that's literally the vibe that people are feeling, like they're not rocking with Nicki in any way, shape, or form right now. They said she lost 10 million followers in like 48 hours or something like that. So she's going through it. But what I will say is that I never rocked with Nicki Minaj, like ever. I don't like her music like that. I never. She always just came off as like a crazy psychotic person to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think she raps okay. She's just super pretty. You know what I'm saying? And I think she's so pretty that we give her a pass for a lot of crazy things. But at the end of the day, she does a lot of crazy things. I mean, to me, anybody that would name themselves Minaj, Nicki Minaj, which Minaj suggests that like she's into threesomes. but then and she always talks like she's down to hook up with other girls in her raps, but then half of her raps are about how impossible it is to fuck her. Like she's clearly a confused person. You know what I'm saying? Like anybody who would brand themselves so sexually but then rap about how hard it is to actually fuck them is like a crazy person. You know what I'm saying? Like she's clearly conflicted on the inside and has always been. She likes to present herself as like a sex worker that nobody can have sex with. And that to me off the top was just the craziest thing in the world that I've ever heard or seen. And from the jump to me was like, oh, she's not to be trusted. You know what I'm saying? Because what is this even? Like, who's gonna name themselves Nicki Minaj? Who's gonna get the stripper body and the stripper persona and the sex worker persona, but then act like you're a crazy person for trying to have sex with her? You know what I'm saying? Like all of that to me is it just screams internal conflict, and I'm glad to feel vindicated in my assessment of her personality and her behavior over the years. That's how I feel about her, because she's just one giant walking contradiction. And this T-Poo appearance of hers is just kind of a nail in the coffin of that fact to me. I could give you more reasons why I don't love her, but that to me is just overall how I've always seen her and how she kind of presents to me. I would love to know your guys' feedback on what I'm saying. Do you think I'm crazy for my assessment of Nicki Minaj, or am I spot on? Let me know. But we're gonna end the show with that. I really do appreciate you guys tapping in. Like I said, I just wanted to do a quick wellness check. We'll be back at it again starting next week. I think next week we're gonna do half the week. So Tuesday and Wednesday we'll have a show next week, and then the following week we'll be back to normal. So next week we'll only be on live Tuesday and Wednesday. The following week we'll be back to normal. And when we come back in 2026, I'm going to have some sort of like weekly competition, weekly music competition on this show. So meaning you can, if you're a musician, you might have to pay a small fee, but you play your music. It'll be your music versus another artist's music. The fans can vote for you, and whoever wins will win money for doing that all year, starting in 2026. It's going to be a vibe. Those are the kind of opportunities I'm talking about, presenting more opportunities for musicians and creatives. And let me know if you have any ideas about how we should do it, but that is going to happen. We're going to have our own little version of verses starting in 2026. So I can't wait to kick that off. But in the meantime, I'll be back on the coast next week. I can't wait to see all you guys. Can't wait to show my face. I got some studio upgrades. I can't wait to show y'all those studio upgrades. And we'll be back at it, y'all. And I really do appreciate y'all tapping in, because I know you could be anywhere. I know you could be focused on anything else, and you're here with me. We're almost to 800 subscribers on YouTube. We only need 2 more people to go subscribe on YouTube before we hit 800. We're really trying hard to get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, because that unlocks more features for us. That unlocks super chats. It unlocks a lot of stuff for us when we get to 1,000 subscribers. So if you're watching us on YouTube and you're not subscribed, please tap that like button. It shares the video out to more people, and tap the subscribe button, because we're trying to get to 1,000. And it really, really, really does help us out. And then definitely make sure you check out our website, connect.club. That's the best way to support us. Become a member, buy merch, do all those things. And we will be back on Tuesday. I hope everybody has a great weekend. Stay safe, stay dry if you're on the West Coast. And everybody have a happy new year. We'll see you before the new year, but just in case you don't come back to the chat before the new year, I hope everybody has a happy new year. And then next week we'll announce all the CTC Radio Awards winners on Tuesday, so tap in for that. I hope everybody has a good night. Deuces.
Max Payne, run this shit.
Just for all them bitches out there on my ain't got my money or my feelings. You ain't got nothing to do with you. Yes.
Do your dance, fuck it up, go dummy. Outside with the guys getting to the